Hey Cowboys Nation! Welcome back to The Zone, where we break down everything happening with America's team. Today, we're diving into one of the most talked about subjects in Dallas right now, the hunt for the next defensive coordinator. This is more than just a staffing move, it's a decision that could redefine the identity of the Cowboys defense for years to come. With every interview, every candidate considered, the team is signaling that they're not simply filling a role, they are searching for a visionary who can shape a unit that has been under the microscope for quite some time. From strategy to player development, the next defensive leader will need to bring a blend of innovation, teaching ability, and adaptability. Dallas has already made formal requests to interview several key candidates, signaling a commitment to a thorough process. Among the coaches the team is pursuing are Donnie Jones, currently serving as the defensive passing game coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, Jim Leonhard, the assistant head coach and passing game coordinator with the Denver Broncos, and Ifeanyi Banda, who has been leading the safeties for the Cleveland Browns. Each of these men comes with a distinct set of experiences and strengths, making the selection process particularly intriguing. The approaches they've developed in both college and NFL systems bring a mix of tactical expertise and player development skills that Dallas is clearly prioritizing. Interestingly, there was also an attempt to interview Jeff Ulrich from the Atlanta Falcons, but that request is on hold. The Falcons are within their rights to retain him under contract, which means that, for now, that opportunity is paused. What this does underscore, however, is Dallas' commitment to a wide-reaching search. They are not limiting themselves to obvious or familiar choices. The team is explicitly making it clear that they want a broad pool of candidates, aiming for a process that is more extensive than nearly a decade of prior searches. This is about strategic long-term thinking, not simply plugging a vacancy. When looking closer at the three primary candidates, one common thread becomes apparent. Each has experience coordinating defenses at the college level. This reflects Dallas' philosophy of finding someone who is skilled at teaching and developing players. Donnie Jones, for example, brings experience with LSU as a defensive coordinator and multiple years in the NFL with the Bengals and Vikings. His work in complex systems, including exposure to the schemes run by Brian Flores, shows he is comfortable in high-level tactical environments while also emphasizing the growth of individual players. Jones, who is 47 years old and originally from Maryland, has built a steady trajectory from assistant roles to positions of leadership, which illustrates his ability to teach and adapt within diverse defensive systems. Jim Leonhard offers a slightly different but equally compelling background. After going undrafted as a player out of Wisconsin, Leonhard transitioned into coaching quickly and has built a career across multiple NFL franchises. His experience spans teams like the Bills, Ravens, Jets, Broncos, Saints, and Browns, giving him exposure to a wide variety of defensive philosophies. At Wisconsin, he rose to defensive coordinator, learning from well-established coaches and honing his ability to prepare athletes for professional success. Currently serving as assistant head coach and passing game coordinator in Denver, Leonhard combines leadership with technical expertise. His skill at translating complex defensive schemes into actionable strategies for players at all levels makes him a standout candidate for a team seeking both innovation and consistency. Ifeanyi Banda, while less widely known to the public, brings a different kind of value to the table. Banda's coaching journey began in college football, starting as a student assistant at Incarnate Word after a career-ending injury, and continued through programs like Texas, Mississippi State, and Miami under Manny Diaz. Transitioning into the NFL as the Browns' safeties coach, he has focused on fundamental development, technique, and positional mastery. Banda represents a hire that emphasizes teaching and player readiness, qualities that can be just as critical to building a top-performing defense as high-profile tactical schemes. His adaptability and developmental expertise make him a strong option for a team looking to refine the details of their defensive performance. The scale of Dallas' search is notable. The team has made it clear that this is just the beginning. They are expected to interview more candidates, potentially expanding the process to 7, 8, or even 10 individuals. For the Cowboys, this is unprecedented in recent memory and highlights the front office's insistence on finding the right fit rather than rushing a decision. Each interview will provide insights not only into the candidate's knowledge of defensive schemes, but also into their leadership style, communication skills, and ability to integrate into the team's unique culture. Patience in this process is key. And the payoff could be transformative for the defense, examining each candidate individually. Donnie Jones stands out for his extensive knowledge of pro-style defensive systems and his capability to manage the passing game, having coached under Brian Flores. Jones has experience implementing complex defensive plans that require precision and adaptability. His background as a defensive backs coach in multiple NFL teams, combined with his brief tenure as LSU's defensive coordinator, gives him both positional and overarching defensive experience. Jones' skill at coaching the secondary and structuring coverage schemes could align perfectly with the Cowboys' need to tighten coverage and reduce big plays. His balance of tactical knowledge and teaching acumen makes him a particularly compelling option. Jim Leonhard, by contrast, brings a unique combination of NFL experience and accelerated college coaching development. His career path from undrafted player to respected coach in the league demonstrates not only football intelligence, but also a dedication to continuous learning. Leonhard's exposure to a variety of defensive philosophies across multiple teams has prepared him to manage a full defensive unit while cultivating player growth. His current leadership role in Denver highlights his ability to translate complex concepts into practical strategies for athletes at every level. This blend of tactical depth and leadership is exactly what Dallas needs for a coordinator who can implement new ideas while maintaining core defensive principles. Ifim Banda, though less recognized in public discourse, carries a strong potential for growth and influence. His emphasis on fundamentals and positional technique stems from years of experience in college and NFL systems, starting as a student assistant and moving through several college programs before taking on the role with the Browns. Banda has developed a keen eye for player mechanics and development. His focus on safety play and defensive fundamentals can enhance consistency and communication in the Cowboys secondary. While not a headline name, Banda represents a long-term investment in creating a disciplined and cohesive defensive unit. The Cowboys' approach to this search emphasizes fit and potential over familiarity by requesting interviews with candidates from diverse backgrounds. The team is making it clear that they are looking for the right person to define the defense, rather than simply selecting someone they know. This deliberate process demonstrates strategic thinking, prioritizing a careful decision that balances tactical expertise with leadership and teaching skills. With defenses becoming increasingly complex and player development essential for success, the next coordinator must be capable of managing both strategy and human dynamics. Another element to consider is how each candidate might influence long-term development. Donnie Jones' experience in structured systems allows for immediate implementation with room for adaptation. Jim Leonhard's combination of NFL and college coaching offers opportunities for innovation while preserving foundational principles. Ifim Banda's developmental focus could lead to a technically sound defense that improves fundamentals across the roster. Each path has unique implications, and the eventual choice will set the tone for Dallas' defensive philosophy for seasons to come. Cultural impact is equally critical. The Cowboys roster is full of talented athletes who respond to leadership that challenges them mentally and physically. A coordinator must inspire confidence, communicate clearly, and instill discipline. Jones' exposure to structured systems, Leonhard's leadership experience, and Banda's teaching-oriented approach all carry different implications for player engagement and development. Selecting the right fit is as much about connecting with the team as it is about schematics, and that balance will determine how effectively the defense performs. Dallas is approaching this search on an unprecedented scale. Multiple interviews and a broad candidate pool show the front office's understanding that this position is more than a job to be filled. It is a strategic investment in the team's future. The process is designed to evaluate tactical skill, teaching ability, leadership, and adaptability, signaling a refusal to compromise on quality. Fans are already weighing in, discussing which candidate best fits the team's vision. Jones appeals with his pro-system familiarity, Leonhard excites with his rapid progression and leadership, and Banda intrigues with developmental focus and technical expertise. Each brings a different path to success, underscoring the complexity of the decision as the Cowboys continue their search. It's clear that this is not just about finding someone to call plays on game day. The next defensive coordinator will be responsible for shaping the mindset of the entire defensive unit, creating a culture where discipline, awareness, and adaptability are non-negotiable. For a team like Dallas, with expectations sky high and scrutiny relentless, the role requires more than knowledge of schemes. It demands an ability to inspire players to perform at their peak week after week. Each candidate brings a unique lens to this challenge, and understanding how they connect with players will be just as important as understanding their playbooks. Donnie Jones, for example, brings the kind of experience that allows him to step into a system and immediately establish structure. His time with the Vikings under Flores has given him insight into managing complex defensive packages and adjusting in real time to opposing offenses. But beyond the schematics, Jones has a reputation for teaching players to anticipate plays, read offenses, and make quick decisions on the field. This is a skill that translates across positions, helping a defense become more cohesive and reactive. For the Cowboys, a team that has struggled with big play prevention, his approach could address immediate weaknesses while instilling a disciplined mindset that pays dividends over the long term. Jim Leonhard's trajectory is equally compelling, but in a slightly different way. Having moved from an undrafted player to a coaching role across multiple NFL franchises, Leonhard has been exposed to a breadth of strategies and defensive philosophies. He has learned to adjust to the talents of his roster while maintaining a consistent framework for success. In Denver, he has overseen aspects of the passing game, working directly with players to ensure understanding and execution. Leonhard's ability to translate intricate schemes into understandable, actionable plans is a crucial trait for the Cowboys, whose defensive success will rely on clear communication and rapid decision-making on the field. His blend of leadership and technical knowledge could allow him to introduce new strategies without disrupting the fundamentals the team already values. Ifim Banda offers a different flavor to the mix, one that emphasizes fundamentals and the development of talent from the ground up. His coaching philosophy is rooted in teaching positional technique and reinforcing the core skills that every player must master. While he may not bring the same level of national recognition as Jones or Leonhard, Banda's hands-on approach could be transformative, particularly in a secondary that requires consistent communication and precision. His path from student assistant to NFL coach demonstrates a dedication to learning, adapting, and developing players at every stage of their careers. For a team like Dallas, investing in someone who prioritizes fundamentals could enhance consistency across the defense and reduce mistakes that have plagued the unit in critical moments. One of the most intriguing aspects of this search is the potential interplay between experience and innovation. Jones represents stability and a pro-style approach. Leonhard embodies adaptability and a blend of NFL and collegiate methods, and Banda emphasizes technical growth and detail-oriented teaching. Dallas is exploring all of these angles because the right hire needs to combine tactical knowledge with the ability to inspire and elevate the roster. The next defensive coordinator must be a strategist, a teacher, and a motivator simultaneously. Someone capable of reading situations as they unfold while preparing players to respond instinctively. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. In a shocking turn of events that has already sent shockwaves through the NFL community, Kevin O'Connell did not hold back in his post-game comments regarding the Dallas Cowboys, leaving fans across the nation fuming. Sources close to the team suggest that O'Connell's words were far from diplomatic, with insiders hinting that his critique went beyond the usual post-game analysis. While the details of his statements are still somewhat murky, it is being whispered that he openly questioned the Cowboys' strategy, execution, and even the leadership within the locker room. The timing of O'Connell's remarks could not have been more explosive. Fans at the stadium reportedly erupted into a mixture of boos and disbelief. While social media has been flooded with heated debates, many Cowboys supporters have expressed outrage, claiming that O'Connell overstepped his bounds, turning a competitive rivalry into a personal attack. Some analysts, however, speculate that his comments were calculated, designed to send a message not just to Dallas, but to the broader league, perhaps a psychological tactic or a signal of future ambitions. Behind the scenes, team sources indicate that the Cowboys organization is closely monitoring the situation. The locker room, according to insiders, was a mix of frustration and determination, with players allegedly motivated to respond on the field but wary of fueling an ongoing controversy. Meanwhile, pundits are speculating whether O'Connell's remarks might trigger a media firestorm, spark heated interviews, or even influence upcoming matchups. The ripple effects could be substantial, not only for the Cowboys, but for the narrative surrounding the season, adding fuel to the rumor Mill whispers suggest that O'Connell's critique was not entirely spontaneous. Some believe he may have been prompted by internal frustrations within his own team, using the Cowboys as a high-profile example. Others argue it's part of a broader strategy to unsettle opponents, or to position himself in the media spotlight, regardless of intent. The fallout is undeniable. Cowboys fans have taken to forums, podcasts, and social channels to voice their fury, demanding responses from both the player and the organization. As the league braces for the next wave of games, all eyes are now on how this brewing storm will evolve. Will the Cowboys rise above the controversy, or will O'Connell's words leave a lasting mark on the rivalry? For now, the speculation continues to swirl, and the rumor mill shows no sign of slowing down. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.